What is happening, people? It is The Drop. I'm Ruben Dominguez. This is Quinn Bishop. We're live from Cactus Music World Headquarters.
We are.
Took a week off.
Sorry,
it's
good to be
about
back.
that. Yes.
We're going to take evasive maneuvers to try to avoid that.
Yeah, I spend more time on the injury list than half the Astros roster, but let's just
let's hope not.
Let's hope not. He's got a list, and that means we're going to talk about new music.
All right, let's kick it off. Let's talk about we have in store this Saturday.
Oh yeah,
our Saturday 5:13 and 1 p.m. And this is a gentleman, Robert Quinn, and he's made several records here. He's a Galveston native, and really, he's presenting a festival. I think.
Is it this weekend or
it was last weekend?
It might have been last weekend. Yeah,
and so he's just a pro Islander dude. Tries to make things happen.
BOI.
BOI.
Born on the island.
Born on the island. I think that's super cool. But anyways, he has a new record called Persevere, and he really kind of rebranded himself. He performs in the name Galveston with a Z, and but he's, if you like your Texas singer-songwriter kind of rootsy, old school kind of stuff, that is what he's doing. He makes very makes strong records, and he also is an author. And so Saturday he's going to be doing a reading and play some songs from him.
Yeah, no, I knew about him. I've known about his music, but I did not know about the author. That's very cool.
Yeah, so he's gonna read from the book and play some music, and it should be great. Free beverages from the St. Arnold Brewery. It'll be out serving some cool, refreshing. It's my type of beer, cold and wet
and free.
That's
the best kind of beer.
Three important qualities which
yes.
you want.
We want all of those.
So come on down, and we're going to announce several more in stores as we roll into the summer. Look for those next week. I think next Tuesday we're going to announce those. It should be great.
Exciting.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about some other new music. We touched on it because we had a global listening party for Ed Sheeran. He has a brand new record out, and as we do for a lot of these records, we have autographed copies available for use, and these will not last long. I guarantee you they're going to be gone pretty quick, and that's actually pretty cool. Some of these signatures are like...
That's a good one.
It's
very artsy.
Yeah. Strong record if you're a fan.
Big news in the past week in the Ed Sheeran camp. He does not have to quit music.
He does not have to quit music.
Won his court case.
Which I was rooting for him. I mean, I think that is... I understand. The problem you have now is a lot of estates... And really, a lot of states are owned by financial institutions, and they exercise their right to try to retrieve any
protect.
They're protecting their copyright. I get it,
yep.
But as musicians, we can both say that you can't. It's what did Ed say? The building blocks. You can't copyright the building blocks.
It's
the chord progression. I get it.
I understand where the family was coming from, certainly.
Yeah.
And then Ed. But we've remember the Satriani thing with Coldplay, and it's like we're all using the same chords here to and notes and stuff like that. And whenever there's a similar, I mean, if this was like, this artist had been in my family, I probably would have been trying to do the same thing. So I get both sides of the account.
But he doesn't have to quit music.
He doesn't have to, because he said I quit music if I lose this case. But there it is, and this is autographed. Come down here and get this, people.
Come on, get one of those. That's pretty cool. By all accounts, a strong record. Okay, next, the great Duran Jones has a brand new record. It's been a little while. This is his, they're really one of the best new soul revivalist bands of the past few years, and this is his fourth record. Now, this is a solo record. This is not an indication, and this is a remarkably autobiographical record. Speaking, all the songs are about him growing up in this little town, Louisiana, called Hillaryville. Kind of how all that impacted him. There's a picture of his father's trailer on the back, and just kind of his road to being a professional musician. It's on Indie Store exclusive Blue Jay vinyl. This thing's getting terrific reviews. I keep reading interviews with him, and it's a great listen. He's a terrific singer, and if you like your classic, your soul delivered in a very classic 60s, early 70s fashion, it's going to scratch that itch. He's really terrific. He's going to continue to make great records for us. I love it.
Coming out of the gate with already something highly recommended.
I know. And then there's new Young the Giant record. This record's called American Bollywood, and this is they are really, really a popular band. And they really.
Well, this came out a little while ago.
Came out a little while ago.
This is the first time on vinyl.
First time on vinyl.
Got it.
Yeah. It was.
This is a good record.
strong record, and
Yeah,
they really clicked with everybody because they toured
nonstop
opening for everybody.
Total
and that's
road dogs.
really how they built their following. And so this is a kind of a concept record. You can see it's in 4 acts.
Mm-hmm.
And the Wake Up single's really good. I mean, I just know so many people that are really, really loyal fans of these guys.
Yeah, great band, really good vibe. They're good musicians. They write super, super good,
catchy
pop
tunes,
song,
yeah.
in the best way.
I mean, it's pop, but it's rocking.
Yeah, but it's rocking too. Yeah. And I forget his name right now, but I love their vocalist. I love his voice.
Yeah, he's a strong singer.
Really love his voice.
And they'll be out there touring, so people can go see them.
Definitely, we were talking about this. Me and some friends were talking about this, about bands that you listen to, you love, but you've never seen. Yeah. And I've never seen these guys, and I really want to see them.
Well, and they always have a track that pops up that's really, really a strong track. So we'll see if this continues the trend.
Young the Giant, people. Go get that.
Young the Giant. Okay. Let's talk about this. This is the new Smashing Pumpkins record, A Tomb Part 2. This is obviously a legacy band. It is fair to say that their later work has not been well received by their fan base.
The understatement of 2023.
I'm going to take the high road and just say maybe it's misunderstood. Maybe it just doesn't connect with listeners. But there is people have strong opinions.
So in Billy Corgan world, who's very aware of this and very aware of his fan base and what they think and because he's very vocal about everything. In his mind, he goes, is it Adam?
I think
maybe it's Adam, but nothing's gonna bring him back like a rock opera in 3 acts.
I mean, it is like, if you got to double down on your artistry, rock opera, those two words that strike fear in the hearts of music fans everywhere. Oh no.
Monster guitar player, has written some incredible songs, so I'm not laughing at you, Billy. I'm laughing with you, buddy.
I thought the single was cool. I mean, it's they're really using a lot of keyboards here, and I just don't know that that's what they're fans want to hear.
Great band too. These guys can.
Terrific band.
Everybody in this.
So this is the the third in this 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 is the sequel of Melancholy and the Machina record. So both. Well, those are big records. This one, time's going to tell. We'll see what people say about it. Not hearing a lot positive right now. Check it out. And let us know what you think. Ruben's
I mean, okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. We've talked about that a little bit on the drop. That you love a band. They have an era, a body of work that you just like is part of the fabric of who you are.
Yeah.
And then they grow, they change, they start making another record, and sometimes they lose the road, the map, the car along the way, trying to get to the next.
Plus, you have bands that are like, well, we already did that. We're not going to do that again.
And if you change, people hate that. And if you stay the same, you might as well just follow your muse wherever it leads you. Just hope that there's good songs along the way, right?
Yep.
That's all you can do.
100%.
All right, let's talk about these crazy guys. I love these guys. Twigs says these guys are nuts.
I don't know that much about them.
So Brian and Michael Diodario, 2 brothers, they are crazy kooky. They are from Long Island, and
that explains it.
It is very, I would say, one of their biggest influences is the Bee Gees, but it's also punk rock in places, early 70s yacht rock stuff. There's a whole lot going on here, but they're great songwriters. The lyrics are just completely preposterous.
Yeah.
And fun to listen to.
Iggy Pop loves them.
We did an in-store with them for the first record.
Oh, really?
I just thought it was like one of the nuttiest things we've ever had. They are really cool. Check them out. They've got their playlist that you can access through most DSPs is pretty good representation of all the different stuff they do. So you want to discover something that's
there you go,
out of the ordinary. That's
Lemon
these
Twigs,
guys.
Man.
And I'll say this. We were just talking about songs. The songs are terrific. I mean, they're super melodic. They sing great harmonies.
Right.
Reminiscent of Sparks in a lot of places.
Okay.
Too. So
there you go.
Maybe that's a timely thing for them as well. So
100.
Yeah, check it out.
That. Yes, sir.
Okay, next up, emerging artists. We love to bring emerging artists here, and even though this is her 4th record, this is her New West debut, and this is Esther Rose, and she's been toured a bunch and singer songwriter. It seems like female singer songwriters are really just running the board.
It's been a solid year,
really strong,
solid 2 years.
I think you have a couple of not a couple. You have a bunch of really great artists that create a template and create a path for artists behind them. And I think, she's the benefit of this. But this is a strong record. Check it out.
Didn't we do a record like a year ago? Didn't we do another record?
I think so.
We did. She had another release.
Yeah, this is her 4th, and she's very cool. She's got some wings on the back there,
and she's got a song called Chet Baker. So that right there should should want to check her out.
Okay, this is cool. Taj Mahal, who made a record last year, made a terrific record last year with Raikuder. He's back, and he's unpredictable and just drifts stylistically record to record, but yet it all still sounds like
Taj
him.
Mahal.
He's one of those guys. He's just a great singer, great guitar player, and this record's called Savoy, and this is his first album of the American Songbook, classics. And so the guy that produced this record, this guy John Simon, you might not know him by name, but John Simon produced Simon & Garfunkel, Janis Joplin, Leonard Cohen, a lot of. The guy's got a serious list of production credits. So he's helming this record, and man, this is a very, very cool record. I know that Taj is probably known predominantly for his blues work, and then later like his Hawaiian guitar, like
right.
Key stuff. But this is a really fun record, a good soundtrack for Saturday night if you're looking to check out something. And I love the cover.
Cover's fantastic.
Cover's like very cotton club
very
looking,
so.
right?
Yeah, it's fantastic. I love that.
Okay, we're gonna close with a Texas guy, who's
great.
Cactus is home away from home.
I know, man. You guys had him a bunch.
We might be having him back again. We'll see. This is Rodney's Chicago sessions.
There you go.
And brand new record on the New West label. And we got two new Westers right here in a row. I will say this about Rodney. He often collaborates with other artists. He is very careful about who he collaborates with, and it's always somebody, like he did the album where he wrote songs with poet Mary Carr. Obviously Emmylou, but if he's making a record with you, you've got some import. This record's produced by Jeff Tweedy. He did it at Wilco Studios in Chicago, and man, they cut it all live.
Hell yeah! The way you're supposed to do it. Yeah. So you're basically, what you were kind of talking about was, he's made very specific and very good decisions throughout his career. Who he's worked
remarkably
with.
Consistent.
Yeah, and he's been consistent and just and the guys are, so many people would just name like
he's one of the best.
Talked to so many singer-songwriters, and this is a guy that influenced.
He's one of the best songwriters walking around on the face of the planet, and he's from Houston, Texas.
Respect to that man.
He's from Houston, Texas, people. So hopefully, and he's playing the Heights Theater coming up in June. Maybe we'll have a little visit from him at the record store. But check that out. That is a great center. The video.
I haven't seen it.
The video, he's wearing John. I don't know how he has it. There's a story there. He's got John Lennon's
New York
his Hard Day's Night suit, and that's what he's wearing in the video.
How did that happen?
I have no idea. I can't believe it's not altered because Rodney's really tall. I mean, all the British Invasion guys were shorter. That's got to be kind of hard for a tailor. Hey, can you alter this suit?
Can you let it out? It's John Lennon's, so
yeah, be careful.
What?
Let's let it out right now with soundtracks.
Yeah,
this is our soundtrack portion of our show, and we really, I don't think we've ever had one before, but there's so many strong soundtracks out there we gotta talk about. And
if there's a modern day movie that's known for its soundtrack, it's this franchise.
This one, and man, the music supervisors on this series do such a great job of turning people onto great music. It's the new Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack, and man, run them down. There's some
so this is interesting because we know them from going way back to the especially the first Guardians that had Hooked on a Feeling and God, just a bunch of like 70s kind of vibey stuff. So here we go. We've got Creep, an acoustic version by Radiohead. Crazy on You, Heart, okay, dipping back. Since You've Been Gone, Rainbow, oh, great song. In the Meantime, Space Hog, fantastic song. It's All Good, Reasons Are Wind and Fire, We Care a Lot, Faith No More. Okay, I see a little, coming in and out. Badlands, Bruce. Dude, there's, Wait, Redbone was already on, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that one was so effective in the film.
They just brought it back. It's going to be on every soundtrack. Come and get your love, man. No Sleep Till Brooklyn, the Beasties. Dude, this is the day. That's fantastic.
It's got a lot more.
That's
more 80s stuff.
This is fantastic.
And I guess this is the final film in the series.
Yes,
they're saying?
Yes. But never say never.
Never say never. Where a dollar is to be made.
And our friends at Disney.
Yeah.
We're on the 10th Fast and the Furious movie, so.
Yeah. As I always say, limited edition means limited to how many we can sell. For sure.
Yeah. Oh, and what's his name? I should know this. The wrestler he said that was his last film.
Oh, really?
He's like, I'm not doing that character anymore.
Yeah. If you're out, you're out.
Yeah.
But, this is a fun listen. We've been listening to it at the store, and
dude, you can't go wrong.
And with me not knowing like what was playing or whatever, because I didn't look at the track.
Right.
Every track was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you're like, what are you guys doing?
That's
back
great.
there?
Yeah. Perfect.
I love that.
Tape. Next up, wildly successful show, big favorite at the Bishop household, Outer Banks.
Okay, before we get into this, help me, because I could not make it through the first episode, and I've tried a couple of times because people tell me, "Oh, you got to watch it. What am I missing? Why is it good?"
I'm not a big fan.
Okay. Oh, when you said at the household, I thought you the family was watching, the kids are watching.
Me.
Got it. Okay. All right, that's cool. Please continue. I'm so sorry.
So there, and you got Marcus King. You've got they kind of kid. This is a lot of rootsier stuff. Avett Brothers.
Yeah.
Jake Johnson. Music plays a big role in this show as well. Again, wildly popular. And this is, I think, the first soundtrack that they've had on vinyl for Outer Banks. So
come on, baby.
We'll see.
Season 3. People are digging it.
Season 3,
people
rolling right along. Okay, so there was this next soundtrack. There was a big record for Record Store Day. That was like a super special, weird, like limited edition thing that would create animation.
Yes.
You played the record or whatever. Sold out of that. But
this is weird.
We're bringing these in from the UK. This show's such a phenomenon.
I don't get it.
I love it. This is the soundtrack to Bluey. And
this is crazy popular right now.
We started bringing these in from the UK just because of the success of the Record Store Day piece in the show is just monstrously successful.
I gotta go back.
The charm about the show.
What is it?
Is that it's actually voiced by a family, like father, mother, 2 kids.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And it's written by the dad, and it's all based on like their kooky experiences, and it's funny.
Okay.
It's 20 minutes long. Gives you a little life lesson.
I gotta go back.
And great quality kids program.
I'm a terrible person.
Program. No, you're not.
Terrible person.
You can't watch everything.
No.
Can't spend enough. How about this? You can't spend enough time with everything to determine if it resonates.
Right.
That's a problem. There's too much going on.
Right.
Too much going on.
I know.
I'll tell you what's going on. Record Store Day Essentials.
Boom.
Record Store Day is over, but we
RSD.
still have a lot of cool RSDE. A lot of quality records that have not been on vinyl before, and are now at your finest independent record stores across the country. And this is cool. There's 2 Wu-Tang records that are later records that have never been on vinyl before, and it's not like they're groundbreaking work, but there's enough good stuff on every record from these guys.
If you are a collector,
if you are a fan, I think people run to the store to get these just because you haven't been able to,
Yeah.
I mean, people are streaming stuff, and you're seeing this with more hip hop record buyers. They are trying to fill in their collections. They're becoming like completists, and where it used to be just about like the hit record or the classic album. For a group like this, for a brand that just keeps it going and has amassed a big body of work, people are filling in the gaps.
So when was this originally released?
You know what? They don't have the original publication dates on here. I noticed it just says 2023.
Are these like reworked?
So they are. These are somewhat sanctioned
remixed
records, that have other artists.
Yeah.
Like
because Action Bronson's on a track.
Yeah. And like this has Inspector Deck and Raekwon.
Right. You got
RZA, of course.
Yeah.
Master Ace.
Rock Marciano.
Cool G-Rap going back.
This is cool. Okay, so now I'm very curious about this one.
And of course, you get that color variants for indie record stores. This one's red.
This one's you got silver vinyl.
Silver. So for you Wu fans, there's some more brand new music. Yeah, it presents an opportunity to really kind of discover it in the format that it was meant for.
Yep.
And okay, let's go across the UK for this is a huge track. This,
oh my God!
Stone Roses, Sally
band.
Cinnamon, Manchester, the original Britpop Manchester band, and this was I believe their second single. This was a huge hit in the UK, and the reason why this is a standalone piece is because this was not included. They did not want it included on the album, which that's a very British thing to not include the single on the record.
Yeah,
have it be a standalone thing. So you
is.
could only get this on the complete Stone Roses, I believe. So you get this as a standalone piece, and you got remixes, some B-sides, and then 4 live tracks from 1987. Arguably the high point of the band. One of those bands that, the singles, the first album, it's all about that second record. And they try to do something different.
I know, because I bought it.
They just stumble.
And I remember I was sitting at home Sunday night, 120 Minutes comes on, band from the UK, this is Stone Roses. This is the first time I heard them, and I was like, oh yeah, I like this.
Yeah, it's groovy.
It's very groovy, very trippy, and it was that whole thing that was happening.
Yeah, and we saw that first album and their compilation sells every week. People are still discovering, of course, a lot of great Britpop music came after that, but they're kind of one of the architects.
There's a writer, and he would come on that show that I used to listen to on Sirius with Nick Carter and Lori Majewski. He did it before they dropped it, and they should never have taken it off the air. And Fridays, he would come on Friday. He lives in New York City, British guy, writer he's written for everybody. He's written music for everybody from Vanity Fair to NME.
Okay.
And he would basically come on and do kind of like what we do, but he would really focus.
But not as well.
Not as well. And plus, not as well. He was only one person too. You get double the
double.
This
double
is
Jeopardy.
Twice double Dutch. But he would always talk about the bands that you needed to know about or who he just heard, or he was really about that. But he would always default to his favorite all-time band on the planet with no question.
That's
Stone
funny.
Roses.
Stone Roses. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so Record Store Day Essentials available for a limited time.
Come get them.
Pressed to order.
Mm-hmm.
So when they sell out, they're gone. Okay, let's talk about the reissues. Very popular segment and drop, if not the most popular. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Great group.
Let's talk about these. So this band has been, they were big during the CD era. There was never any vinyl on these guys, and so their early records,
this is cool. Yeah,
spacey jazz, groovathon. You get 2 Medeski, Martin and Wood albums. Arguably their 2 best, though they continue to make pretty great records.
In my opinion, they've never done anything like that I didn't like.
Yeah. So this is you got Shackman and Friday Afternoon in the Universe, and these were big records. These records just kept selling and selling and selling. This is another group that you might think you're not familiar with their music. You hear their music a lot used in film and licensed for, it just pops up here and there.
And each one of these guys has done so many side projects with so many different
people
and
have
guested on so many records, because they're just like A-list first call musicians.
To the point that I would say, if you see their name on a record, one of those guys on a record, it's worth your time.
Yeah,
they're that good.
Yeah.
But really,
I love this.
There were not. So I will say that this was when these guys came out and started really clicking with people. This was like one of the first new jazz groups that was. It was really kind of an older clientele. This is when it really you start to see a lot of young people come in and looking for jazz records.
Yeah,
and it really kind of comes through the jam band thing, right? Like it's groovy. And they started doing that, which again, the jam band thing is not a Texas thing at all. But they would tour with all those groups.
It's jam band format, but it's jazz. It's not so hippie trippy.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go. So
good stuff.
And so I will just comment on this. I thought this was cool. There's note here: pressed on black vinyl for optimum sound. For those of you who don't know, black vinyl records sound better than your color vinyl because it has the lead content makes it more.
Yeah. knowledge.
Yeah, there you go. There's a little bit for you.
That's what
we got. A
bring
little
to
bit some. Next in the reissue program, this is such a cool record.
I've never heard that.
Oh, you would like this. I really like it. So this David Byrne, his label, Lawaka Bop, they did a series called, because he was very influenced by Brazilian pop, and so he started this series called Brazil Classics, and this is the best of Tom Zay. And what you need to know about Tom Zay is he's pretty nutty. When this came out, a lot of people said, "Oh, yeah, he's like the Brazilian David Byrne." You know, super quirky, really a master of tropicalia in the '60s, and became very obscure in the '70s, and he's really kind of dropped out. And then David Byrne, bought a couple of his records while traveling, and just really kind of reestablished him through his just elevating his music and love him.
Crazy.
And so this was the first time this has been on LP that I know of. I don't remember ever seeing it.
I've never.
But it's cool. This is cool. You're trying to figure out something to listen to that's cool and kooky. And
this is the one.
And man, check this out. This is great music that if you're a Talking Heads fan, you will definitely hear things that make sense to you.
Resonate.
And we talk about the Talking Heads on here quite a bit.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Okay. Texas back in the program here. Butthole Surfers Weird Revolution.
God. Look at that.
Yeah. So this was their 2001. This is their last record that I think they continued as an entity. But this is on the reissued on the Surf Dog label. And check it out. What kind of cover you got there? Is it lenticular?
Is it lenticular?
No, this one is not. I think there's a lenticular.
It's lenticular adjacent.
Yeah.
This is on white color vinyl. So
it features the track Dracula from Houston.
Yes, it does.
Which was kind of a big track. I like the giant baby shooting the video game, lasering out some military aircraft.
Gibby and the boys were definitely had their own specific lane.
Always weird, always fun.
It's crazy live shows.
Crazy live shows. Kind of funny to think there hasn't been a record since then.
Yeah. Yeah. That is crazy.
Who knows? That Paul Leary guy's such a good guitar player. I love that guy.
Yeah.
And actually, his solo record is probably my favorite of all that stuff.
I love it.
Okay, now this is an important reissue. This is hands down probably outpacing everything else that's in the store right now. This is the
red
reissue
right now.
Good Lord. Isolation. Man, this is the first time on vinyl for this 2018 debut American singer of Colombian descent.
Yeah.
This is on opaque blue vinyl. Man, we put this up on our socials and people just ran in here to get it. Yeah, she's just white hot right now, selling a bunch of records. And
I really liked that last record, and we talked about it.
It's great. Yeah,
a few months ago.
She's cool. She's cool, and I think we're kind of, you tell me, but I think we're kind of out of that gully where you had a lot of female artists in particular that didn't have the goods, Now we got a bunch of singers that are really exceptional singers.
Yeah.
Her being one of them.
Freaking superpowers. Supernovas. Yeah.
Supernova. Yeah. So she's cool. So grab that one.
Check it out.
Are you ready for our guest stars?
Yes, let's do it.
Let's bring them in here.
Let's bring them in.
Welcome. The Daft Punk guys here to join us.
Look at that.
Here, I'm just gonna sit.
Sure.
How's it going, dude?
I thought they'd be taller.
Hey, it is the 10th anniversary of Random Access Memories. It's hard to believe it's been 10 years. This was the first record that people said, "Holy cow, vinyl is selling like crazy."
Yeah.
They could not keep up with this. This was like the fastest selling record of that year.
And it's a banger.
It's a banger record. It is great. It's like, to me, when it came out, I was like, man, this reminds me of like roller rink music from when I was like 8 or something. It's
in the best possible way.
Disco in the best possible way. With this, you get a poster. It's on 3 LPs. You get 9 unreleased outtakes, which from a record that's that important of a record, you want some outtakes. You want to hear like what
the process was, what was happening in the studio. I'm always interested in
a record all by itself.
10th anniversary. Look at that. It's a bad boy right there.
It is.
I kind of want this.
I'm going to give a shout out to our customer that has this outfit that just comes in and walks around the store for a little bit, freaks
Really?
Yeah, it's
Get
totally
the hell
great.
out of town.
It's totally great.
Please
All
call
right,
me when
guys.
that happens.
All right, guys, you got to go. Thanks
Yeah,
for
see ya.
thanks
Yeah,
for
well, they're
stopping
very
in.
busy.
Thanks for stopping in.
They're
Okay.
very busy.
Let's talk about the vinyl vault. It is Ruben's pick.
It's time for the vinyl vault. All right, so, and again, this is the hardest segment because Quinn always has the best vinyl vaults.
That's
you know,
not true.
His comes from that, you know, that really deep, you know, music professor kind of side that
It's
we love
borderline
that
academic.
we love him for.
But you're from the heart.
Yeah,
That's what's great about your
I'm
picks.
working without a net. So my pick is a band that I got turned on to kind of by accident, Black Uhuru, and they are a really cool act. That the way, and there's the album. Red is my album. It's my pick. Although, you know, if you ask like the music critics out there or whatever, this is good, right?
Yeah.
That will tell you that, I mean, most people consider Guess Who's Coming to Dinner kind of as their, I guess, masterpiece or whatever.
Sure.
So I had a quick story. I had a early, you know, I'm not going to say when in the 80s, but it was in the 80s. Had a girlfriend, and her dad was going on a trip to Jamaica.
Oh, wow.
And we were at the house, and he was like, well, you know, I'm going to be leaving. Can I bring you guys anything back from Jamaica? Ha, 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 ha. Like, wish you were coming with me, but I'll bring you a little something.
And
I said,
whatever your first thing you would ask for, I can't bring it back.
No, I said, buy me an album.
Oh,
and
sweet.
he went to a record store. He took the time to like leave the resort and go to a record store and buy that for me.
That's
and he brought
cool.
it back,
That's
and he goes,
great.
I asked the guy at the counter, and he said this.
He was right.
And I put it on, and I don't know, man, just it's one of those life-changing records. I really didn't know anything about dub, you know. I mean, I'd heard Bob Marley, like I was you know, I think Steel Pulse was out at the time.
Sure.
This was maybe 83, 84, because this album's 1980. And so Michael Rose on vocal, backing vocals, original founding members, Puma, Ducky Simpson, Sly and Robbie, list goes on, you know, of the people that were part of this that ended up being incredibly influential throughout reggae. But you know, and I was like, what is this? So this got me started finding other music. Like I hadn't heard Scientist or King Tubby or any of that.
Yeah.
You know, and this was like my gateway.
Yeah, it takes one record to kick the door down. Right?
And man, but there's something about Michael Rose, because Michael Rose departed. I believe Don Carlos was in Black Uhuru for
They had a lot of.
They had a couple of different guys come in and out, but
changes.
nothing matched the albums that Michael Rose sang on. And I remember seeing a picture as either Spin or Rolling Stone after I'd been talking about this album and getting my friends to listen to. And there was this picture of Sting and Michael Rose jogging in Central Park. And something about, I can't remember what it was. But anyway, but the album is, you know, there's a lot of this. I mean, I'm not going to call it lyrically, like, not, it's, you know, obviously talks a lot about, you know, Rastafarianism and just kind of the struggle from coming from these poor neighborhoods and you know, and also, you know, their religious orientation, Haile Selassie, you know, all of that stuff, you know. So for me, it was just like this little, you know, little treasure trove that kind of opened up and then just got me into. So then I was like, oh, wait a minute. I could hear some of Sting's bass lines on some songs that I was like, oh, he's heard Sly and
Yeah, and
Robbie.
if you liked, especially, you know, post-punk, new wave, punk, if you, like, you had to, you kind of backed up into reggae music, you know, it's something you like, because again, the rhythms, the you know, especially, you know, groups like the Clash, the
Elvis
Police,
Costello, you're watching The Detectives, or you know,
there's all this stuff. Like, it was, whether you knew it or not, they were setting the hook for you. So when you actually heard the real deal, like, you know, it got you. And I had kind of the same experience. So this record, I heard this record after I heard the Sensimilia record, which is their other, you know, huge record.
Sure.
And actually, one of our fellow Cactus, like, that's like one of his favorite all-time bands, and he was always plugged in and would always hit me to what was, because we've known each other forever. He would hit me into like what was really the real deal. And you know, I think that those two records, and this one in particular, it has a very unique sound because it's as music was changing and technology was affecting music. You come out of like the very rootsy, organic sounding reggae, and then there's a lot of cookie keyboards,
and then there's that Simmons electric from. It would only make one sound. It's all throughout that. It's all throughout that album.
But the great thing about that is that so that's on there. There's that element on there, but then there's enough of the organic stuff, and it just this era, like that 80, 81 reggae, really is where the organic meets like the electronic, and that is such a sweet spot for me. I like so much from like right then. And then you get like 5 years after that, and it's too electronic for me. Like I'm still listening for like a real guitar tone. And stuff like that.
It got crazy, but I think the dub guys were more of the underground.
Oh, for sure,
part of it. So this record, when this record comes up, they end up touring Europe after this record came out, and then at the end of that tour, they released "Tear It Up Live."
Oh yeah,
which most of it was recorded in France, I think, and there's video clips of it on YouTube, man, and it's just like, it's just crazy, And of course, they're in Europe, and everybody's going nuts.
Sure,
they did not tour Houston, Texas on that.
No, it was a big deal
to
get big bands here, and it usually because of like Jazz Fest or International,
Boston,
Louisiana,
they would hit that,
would bring those acts here. But I will say this record, man, I don't know what you're doing this weekend, Friday or Saturday night. This is, you hear me say this a lot, it's a great soundtrack to your weekend. This from top to bottom is filled with fun, great tracks that just keep the party rolling.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting stuff. We hit everything, huh?
I think so.
All right,
pretty good.
Don't give it away, but do you know what your vinyl vault is for next week?
I haven't even. I usually decide like morning.
Do you? I have mine picked already.
I always know I'm going to see it at some point during the week, so it's like I keep that antenna out.
Yeah.
I'm always listening.
That's it.
And then I run across. I'm like, oh yeah, that's it.
All right, man. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that in-store performance. Once again, coming up, what do we have?
Hey, Robert Kuhn on Saturday at 1 p.m. Come see him. Come check it out. He could be your favorite new artist.
There you go. Local artist, Gulf Coaster, Third Coaster.
St. Arnold will ply you with their
come get your beer, people.
Quality beverages.
All right. Now I want a quality beverage. All right, we're going to get out of here. You guys have a great week. We'll see you next time. Peace.